Hello guys, Gore Got You here, bringing you another Black Ops 3 gameplay, and today I'm going to continue on with part 2 of my gamer weight loss journey video, and I'll literally continue where I left off. So I was talking about my third year in uni, how I really started putting on weight. We were eating the horse meat pies, and we were eating the fish pies, and we don't actually know if the Bisto things were horse meat, but stands to reason with the scandal that was happening and everything that was happening around us that there was plenty of horse in the Bisto stuff we were eating. But as I said, it wasn't the fact that the horse was in there that bothered me. What bothered me is that now I really knew how the corporations were lying to us, especially with food, and how the government are pushing certain companies and agendas to make them money, to make them look X, Y, and Z. The horse meat scandal, for example, was all about saving money, getting rid of race horses that are like pumped full of steroids, and that was all the stuff we're eating. That's what bothered me. It wasn't the fact they were horses. Personally, if I'm in Korea, I'll eat dog. If I'm in France, I'll eat horse. I don't really care. It's all meat. Whoever wants to do whatever with meat is totally down to that culture and them independently. You know, if you want to eat snails, eat snails. But it was this horse meat scandal that first got me, and at the time my housemate Kabir, into more healthier foods, I'd say. We started eating an awful lot of sweet potatoes and just chicken and pork, and that's really all we ate. Chicken, pork, sweet potatoes and veg, and we ate that every day for, I say, a good 4 months. It was the latter part of our third year, and the reality was we were also eating a lot of other crap in between, and that was the problem. It doesn't matter how healthy you are for dinners. If you're eating ice cream or chocolate or crisps or fizzy or squash or anything really sugary or fatty, then you're going to notice that, certainly if you're not that athletic, which me and Kabir certainly at uni weren't. We laid around watching TV, doing our work most of the time, playing computer games. And the reason I made the health change it was actually for the love of the food, to be honest with you. At the time I was loving the sweet potato kick, I was loving the pork, it was barbecue season, and that's what changed as spring had started coming, and at uni barbecue season starts really early because you don't do anything, so as soon as the sun's out, boom, barbecue weather. And that was, I suppose, a precursor into the healthy style I'm living now, but it didn't change until a year ago. And what brought this on was two things, really. One of them was in October 2014, I went to Chernobyl with a friend of mine, fellow YouTuber called TreaderTube, who's doing really, really well for himself at the moment. And we decided, years ago, we've been friends since primary school onwards, but years ago we talked about going to Chernobyl, because I remember we were away in Cornwall. He was reading a book by Charlie Brooker, and it was all about dark tourism and going to North Korea, Iran, all these places you would think are dangerous, or you would think you can't go to. So we decided in October to actually go to Chernobyl in the Ukraine and actually make this video for YouTube. And the reality was, it's a really brave thing, because Ukraine was and is at war at the time. But when we went in October in Kiev, it was roughly 2 months after the mass shootings by the military on the civilians, and we were literally in that area. We were walking about during the daytime where the snipers were shooting the civilians, and we were looking at the hotel the snipers were in maybe 2 months before. And it really brought a lot of things home to me, and the Chernobyl experience itself did. I mean, I'd never in my life visited somewhere that had total devastation for 20,000 years. That's how long Chernobyl was messed up for, 20,000 years, which these sort of things were so staggering to my brain. I mean, I'd researched all this sort of stuff before, and previous devastations, genocides, all this nasty stuff around the world, but seeing it is a different thing, a very different thing. And that really got me to thinking about my own life, my own self, and how good I've got it in terms of I live in a house, I live in a safe country, etc, etc. I don't want to get too much into this because me and Treds will have a series about this one journey that we're going to put together and co-collaborate on both our independent channels. But that was the first nail in the coffin for me on, right, I need to be healthy, I need to change. I'm getting near 30. I know it sounds silly and insignificant that such a large catastrophic thing as Chernobyl could set in motion a health kick for me, but it did. The second thing that really changed was in January of 2015, I spent a month in Canada and America. And while I was there, I was obviously eating anything and everything. And in Canada and the States, which are very similar countries commercially, they basically have the same chains, the same stores, the same shops, the same restaurants, the same fast food joints. And I was eating an awful lot of crap all the time because one of the many reasons I went out there for was to experience all of that. But one thing that really set this health thing into motion was no joke, Chipotle. Chipotle over in America is a huge brand, and it's in England at the moment, in select stores, maybe in London, maybe in Manchester, and some bigger northern cities, I'm not too sure, but it's basically Mexican food, it's burritos, it's rice, wraps, beans, chicken, or steak. And I loved this stuff so much, and honestly, I loved it so much that when I got home to the UK, I started making my own burritos with brown rice, beans, wraps, and chicken. And after about 2 weeks of just that, because let me backtrack to America, I noticed in America I was massive. I noticed in the mirror, and I said I don't really look in the mirror. It was my 28th birthday, and I was in Toronto in a hotel, and I was looking in the mirror, and I was like, Jesus Christ, like, you have just got a lot further along with being fat than I'd ever imagined in my own head. And then when I got home and I started eating the burritos for 2 weeks, which was literally just brown rice, wholemeal wraps, beans and chicken. And after 2 weeks, I started getting comments from people saying, oh, you look like you've lost a little bit of weight, and so on and so forth. And I said, bear in mind, I don't weigh myself. I barely look in the mirror, so I didn't know I was losing weight, apart from the fact that my clothes could be a bit loose or tight. But to be honest with you, I'm a man and I'm terrible at washing and ironing and all that, and I tend to shrink my stuff and stretch it all the time. Every wash I make a mistake in that regard. But so I didn't really have too much inclination that I was losing an awful lot of weight or anything. And bear in mind, I'm not very active. I don't play sports, so I don't really spend much time physically outside anymore. I'd say I'll go away for weekends every now and again. I am quite active, but on a daily basis, I am not the most active person. And I think this is a problem with many people, and many people that are overweight. This is a problem with inactivity, and you can get it into your head that I think gyms and nutritionists and that push this more than anything, especially people you have to pay, is that they push their own service on you so much. The gym, oh, you can't lose weight without going to the gym. You need to join a gym. You need to do this. You need to do that. No. That's all crap. That's all absolute crap. You don't need to do any of that. You don't need to pay a lot of money to a company to lose weight. That is just the way the commercial capitalist world we live in works, is that you get told you can pay for something to fix it. That's simply as easy as that is. The reality is that you can lose a lot of weight without exercise, and I am proof of the pudding. Now, anyone who knows me really well probably thought that I would never embark on this journey of weight loss. I think even my dad and my sister, I don't think anyone thought that I would make this decision myself, start drastically losing a lot of weight and getting healthy. And the reality is I've done it on my own. I kept it very quiet. That's kind of the guy I am. I don't really tend to toot my horn a lot. I'm very humble. I really don't like being big-headed or saying anything good about myself, to be honest with you, out loud. I'm not a fan of it. So I've been quietly losing weight for a long time. Now that's literally all we got time for today, guys. I've run out of time quicker than I thought I would again, but there's going to be a third part to this. There's going to be a final part, and then I may make a weekly series or a bi-monthly series where I talk about how my weight loss is going. Because as it stands, I am at 12.11 stone. That's where I am. I'm 5'11", 5'10". So I'm pretty much in the ballpark of a healthy average adult. But that's all we got time for today, guys. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're taking everything I'm saying on board and bearing in mind that I'm not an expert at all in any of these things. I'm just a guy who has done it. So take that for what it is. Have a good day. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow. I hope you learned something today. Thank you, guys. Goodbye.